And boom! Hey up troops, A Littleton here again with another video, and we've come to the first ever map setup on Siege X. The Siege X release has been pretty smooth, I would say, for the most part. Hopefully you've been enjoying it, hopefully you're getting stuck into it. We'll come back to look at the setup for Clubhouse. Things have changed. There are things on the map that weren't here before. We're looking at it in Siege X, obviously, so we've got the map ingredients to consider as well, and all the other usual setup that we'll go through, rotates, reinforcements, head holes, feet holes, and all the other good stuff for all 4 sites. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments, but that's enough waffling. Let's get stuck into it. So let's get started down here on basement then, and I think we'll start up here in Dirt Tunnel. Now, Dirt Tunnel is a really tough place to defend because there's no chance of being flanked. Attackers can just push down, but anyway, you've got to make sure you reinforce these. If you're playing a Cade, a nice little trick to do is to don't get shot from the drone hole for a kickoff. Look at the angle where your feet are going to get shot so you can stand here safely. Is wait until you hear someone putting Habana pallets or a hard breach charge on the either of these 2 walls and throw a Cade claw. Only right for the first sort of 30 seconds of the round. Try and get a quick Cade trick off and then go back and put it on the kitchen hatch and the moto hatch. You won't hold dirt forever because all it takes is a grenade through here. But if you can get like some value for a few Habana pallets or a hard breach charge, even like a couple of Salmas or an exothermic thermite charge, it's worth doing. Throw your Cade claw here. Try and get a quick Cade trick off, but just be careful you don't get your ankles shot out through here. Obviously, as you're coming down through Dirt Tunnel, there's a ton of different places you can hide proxies and stuff. That's actually a terrible throw. But get them like hidden behind corners, and you can use these wooden barriers to like get that in behind there. Places that, I mean, that's always a classic there, isn't it? Somewhere that the attackers aren't going to see it on the way down to give you early warning that someone's there. Now, we come on to, very early on in this video, contentious is point number 1. Do you barricade off Dirt Tunnel, yes or no? The answer to me is actually no. And I've changed my mind on that over the last couple of months. I used to say yes, barricade it off. But what you tend to happen then is you forget about Dirt Tunnel. You absolutely have to play information in Dirt. So you've got to play a Banshee, a Fenrir. Goo mines I don't think are reliable enough. Prox mines are probably okay. But you've got to play some kind of information, at least at this point here. Because if this is barricaded, right, the attackers can just come all the way down here to this point for free. And what you tend to do is they'll throw a drone out from underneath the door, and they'll get a frag off in this angle here, or on this angle here, and the defenders have no idea the other side of the barricade. You can barricade dirt if you want to. I am actually against it these days. But anyway, that's contentious issue number 1 over with. Then, moving on, just quickly talk about the hatches. We've done all 3. So we've got the kitchen hatch. Over here, we've got the moto hatch, or church hatch, and we've also got the blue hatch. So just going back into kitchen, let's talk about the rotates and reinforcements we've done here then. So we've got a rotate here that goes between the armory side and over into church. Now bear in mind, some people do like to play a reinforcement on this wall, and that's just so people can't open that hatch and get an angle onto this church double wall. I don't like doing that because I would say that you also can now hold an angle. You can hold the hatch drop from here. So I don't like reinforcing that. A lot of pro teams will do that, and I genuinely believe that's why you're starting to see it in rank, because people have been watching pro setups. And just to reiterate, on all of these setup videos, these are your average rank player setups that will work all the way through from copper to champ. It does, you know, you don't have to be a certain rank for this to work. It doesn't stop working at a certain rank. These are the most generic setups that will win you most rank games. Don't get me wrong, if you're playing at the top level, reinforcing this is probably a good idea. And no offense to 99% of the people that are watching this. In fact, no, 100% of the people that are watching this, we ain't playing at the top level, boys. So let's just do what's going to work in our rank, yeah? So we've got the rotate here to go between sides, hold the hatch drop. You can also then hold the rotate in from blue from back here if the kitchen hatch isn't open. We've then got a little mini rotate here on the right hand side, and this is so you can fight onto main stairs from here, again, if that kitchen hatch isn't open. If they start fusing kitchen, you can get out of here quite quickly. You can also, if the kitchen hatch gets opened, you can also make a quick dart out and rotate up to kitchen. You don't have, I know it's only literally next to it, but I can't tell you how helpful it is to have this to nip out as opposed to having to vault out of here all the time. We've then got this line of sight, and this is for 2 things. 1, you can C4 over here, you can smoke over here, but you can stand on this box and you can see bottom main stairs. Really nice angle. Only relevant if this is closed. Obviously, you wouldn't be standing here if this hatch was open. By the way, if you ever want a Cade trick, use these red numbers as a guide and stand on this box. Throw your cade there, you can stand up and pick it back up. You can throw your cade there, you can stand up and pick it back up. It's really useful for cade tricking. Also, at the start of the round, if they're playing Habana, you can make a line of sight here. And this will see the top of the window. And if I just open that barricade quickly, reckon I'll do that from here? Yes. What you'll get is Habana repelling upside down to get this hatch. So if you make a little line of sight like this, you'll very, very often get Habana repelling upside down and you get a freebie. Taking Habana off the board before the hatches are open would be absolutely incredible. That's back armory. We've also got a little mini hole in the floor there just for watching anyone's tootsies running out. We don't want to make it really long because you don't want to give the attackers a line of sight from being prone bottom main, right? So we don't make that really long. You don't want to give the attackers be able to go prone here and see all the way through sight along here. We just make it really tight there. And that's so if attackers run out towards Moto, you can then see them from back armory. So you would be out back here. And then you would see their little ankles run towards Moto from here. Then over in church we go. 2 contentious reinforcements. This one and this one. This one, I'll die on this hill. This one, I don't really mind. A lot of people tend to like reinforcing the left, the right, and leaving the middle soft. I'm not against it, especially if you can play a mirror here. That's the key. If you're not playing a mirror here, I believe this is the best setup overall. We leave head holes here so we can fight onto main stairs. Because remember, if you've got nothing, if you can't fight there onto main stairs, any attackers that are coming down main stairs only have 2 angles to worry about. They have the Moto angle here, but by the time they get to here, they don't have to worry about that anymore. Then they've got to worry about the long angle here, and then by the time they get to sort of here, they don't have to worry about that anymore, and then they can walk out and just focus on one angle. Giving this here gives more places for them to worry about, but also gives you more chances to peek from, obviously. Don't forget the top of this wall is soft. If you want to, you can C4 over the top towards the bottom of main stairs. In Moto, we've got the hatch reinforced, as we mentioned before. If the hatch stays closed, this site is quite easy to win. Well, it is the easiest of the 4 sites on the map. If this gets open, this site becomes a little bit more difficult because this is such a stronghold to be able to just stay in one place and fight main stairs and blue, and also be able to rotate round to be able to see back armory quite quickly. It's a really nice place to be able to stay. Now, over here in blue is where we get to probably my most contentious thought on this site. 99% of people, 99 times out of 10, are going to reinforce this middle wall and sometimes this right wall, but have the rotate down on this bottom left-hand side. I don't like doing that. I put the rotate in the middle these days. Reason being is if you're playing a mirror on this wall that we mentioned before, attackers can shoot out from up here on the platform. They can shoot out the top of this wall here. Now, if you can imagine what that line of sight would look like from where I just was on that ping, that line of sight looks all the way back here to where this mirror is. So if you're ever playing attacking club basement and they've got a mirror on this wall here, you can go to blue, shoot out roughly the area I'm aiming at now, and you'll be able to pop the mirror from the blue platform. Not only that, you'll be able to stop anyone playing behind the mirror, of course, because you'll see it from blue platform. This completely nullifies that. You can't be seen from the hatch under any circumstances here. The hatch is not quite there. You can see the hatch is there, so that's the first angle you'd be seen on the hatch, which you can be seen if you were to have the rotate this side. But because the air conditioning unit goes up just a smidge here, if you come through the rotate here, you can never be seen from the hatch when you come through the rotate. The only thing is, it does give a wider angle into church for attackers from here. Like, they see a lot of church from here, as opposed to just seeing a rotate there. But I've made another video about this. I can't remember which video I made. It was about Legion, but I can't remember why I was talking about Legion. I think it was a top 5 defenders video. You can play Legion here and place goo mines on the step there, so they get tucked in and hidden. And then you can do the same up here on the oil pit steps, and you can just play Legion here. You can put a bulletproof on the wall here. You can play here and just wait for your goo mines to go off, and just play peeking down each side. Remember, if this hatch gets opened, you can't imagine an imaginary line around this air conditioning unit. You can't go past there, otherwise you're going to get seen from the hatch. But again, if you can hold on to blue, you're pretty much going to win the round. So yeah, feet holes here, so you can come back into church, and you can see anyone walking down from dirt, and you can also do that from Moto as well. Anyone that was to walk across there, obviously you would see their ankles, but for their POV looking back in towards Moto, they ain't going to see anything, because at this point you see their feet, and now they don't see you. Just bear in mind, I say this quite often about feet holes, it's natural reaction to shoot what you see, not say what you see. That's Catchphrase, a TV program that was big in the 90s in the UK. It must have had Catchphrase abroad. We must have had American Catchphrase. Anyway, we digress. Nearly said we diverse then. I suppose that kind of works as well. We go off piste. If you see someone's feet here, don't shoot the feet. I do it sometimes. I'm guilty of it. I see something moving. I'm like, ah, there's some feet. Remember, if the feet are here, the head is here. So shoot at head height still. At least center mass chest up towards the head height. And don't shoot feet, especially with the updates in Siege X, where the damage to limbs is so much less than it was before. That's what I prefer doing in blue. If you said to me, I like reinforcing the middle and I like the rotate on this side, which is what a lot of people do, I don't think I wouldn't speak to you ever again. I kind of see what you're saying, but in my humble opinion, this is a better setup. We've then got feet holes here, and this is to be able to see the push down blue from back armory if you need to. Anyone that then goes behind this air conditioning unit here, you're going to see them. However, if they do get into that position, they're too close to those feet holes to have the benefit the other way. Like, they can only see down to that line there, so they can't really see much. You can also play behind box 1 here, or box 3, or whatever you want to call it. So you've got 3 boxes, just to say you've got box 1, box 2, and box 3. However, some people say box 1, box 2, and box 3. So, in my opinion, this is box 1, this is box 2, this is box 3. And then just, I don't know why I'm starting to talk about callouts, but I am. You then got AKs in this cabinet here. Or, sorry, wait, in this cabinet here, this is AKs. You've ever heard that callout? You used to be able to stand on this with a zombie, but you can't anymore. So, another area to think about is this area here. This is a really, really solid anchor point. You can hold the dirt from here. This is a really, probably the best angle onto the kitchen hatch from here. You see them before they see you every single time, 99 times out of 10. Whoa, you see them before they see you. And obviously you can hold into blue as well. This spot here is a super strong anchor point. Having a mirror on this wall is really solid. However, always place it as a crouched mirror. The reason I say that is I can't really show you that the mirror being there, but if the mirror's like standing height, you can't see up into the hatch. Whereas if the mirror's crouch height, I mean, this is probably a good example, right? So if I stand here, you can't really see the hatch. If I crouch here, you can see the hatch. And it's the same here. Always put the mirror crouch height on this wall, and then you can sort of see up into the hatch. When you're standing up like this, you don't get the angle onto the hatch to see if somebody's there. What else have we got to talk about on this side? Verticals, you've got loads of vert options. We've mentioned this line of sight. This is the door into freezer. That's where they would come in from freezer into kitchen. You've got the bottom main stairs, which is always a classic. Like all along here is, so the door into kitchen hallway is here, just above there, and all this angle here, this whole corridor line here is the kitchen hallway. So all of that line there is this right here, all the way down there. Now, what I highly recommend you do is, for a start, shoot the jukebox, get that out of the game. What I highly recommend you do is play upstairs and create some vertical lines of sight. This is a favourite of mine, is to play in Logi. Excuse me. Play in Logi and then make this angle. And you can now see... Oh, of course that just blocks the angle there. What is that about? Come on, shift. Thank you. You can now see into freezer door from above, so your Hibana coming in there to get that kitchen hatch you can see from here. If a banner does go to the window and not to that door, also make this line of sight, and then you can shoot the Hibana pallets or whatever's on that hatch off there as well. Obviously, just be super conscious that anyone could open that Logi door, that Logi hatch at any time. You can also get a really nice angle onto main stairs, and now I've not done this for a while, so I'm not going to get this lined up straight away, but let's try. So, is it further back? Okay, it's further back. Is it through there? Hang on. I mean, I'm doing this as I go. I should probably have rehearsed this if I knew what I was doing. It must be further across. Oh, I've run out of shotgun shells. That's annoying. Okay, it is further across. It's from there. Let's make that angle. With an SMG-11. This is embarrassing, isn't it? Come on, Andy, you're better than this. Okay, there you go. There's the main stairs. That's what I wanted. You see that angle there? That's main stairs. So if you're playing upstairs, you can hold kitchen from above. You can hold this angle onto main stairs from above. And you can see this here as kitchen corridor. If I ping this, I might not be able to run down fast enough, but let's go. Yeah, you can see there. That's that angle there. Really nice angle. Anyone going down main stairs, you're going to see them there. One thing I will say about Clubhouse in Siege X is you can make massive use of the map ingredients. You've got this here, which can just completely block off main stairs. This is essentially a free Goyo canister on the main stairs, and then you've also got one right at the bottom as well, over here going into Moto. But you can just use that as like, you can play the main stairs now, and if you're getting pushed like a lot, you can just shoot that and then disappear, and no one there is going to walk down main stairs when they've got 40 litres of propane, butane, or isobutane, or whatever that is, firing out of that pipe, which is going to blow up any second now. Actually goes on for ages, doesn't it? And then that then covers off. He even gives you a way out. I know it only burns for a few seconds at the end there, but if you can pop that, it gives you another 20 seconds to get down. Just bear in mind, excuse me, bear in mind there could be vert here on your way down. There's a really nice angle you can do as an attacker. I know this is about defense, but we might as well talk about it. From here, I'm going to have to use an SMG-11 because I'm out of shotgun shells. You can see now, we can see down that corridor. That there is Moto door. So you can play Buck here or play anyone with breaching charge. Make some verts, a shotgun, breaching charge, however you want to do it. You can do that here and you can hold Moto and you'll quite often get a pick from I nearly said pick and peek. You'll get a pick from someone who wants to peek onto main stairs. So that there is that angle. And you'll get someone here who's like, oh, I'll hold main stairs. Let's get aggressive on main stairs. And as they're walking up here, you end them from up there. That is downstairs. And look again, map ingredients everywhere. Oh no, they're pushing down main. No worries, I'll just pop that. Oh, they're about to drop Moto hatch. I've got no way out. Yes, you have. Pop that and get inside. There's so many good map ingredients you can use. Probably one of my favourite sites to play in all of Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. And that is how you set it up and defend it. Swiftly on to gym and bedroom, and of course we've shot the radio. Oh, that sign's new. I've not seen that before. I knew that was going to happen. I should cut this out of the video, but I'm not going to. Oh, you already shut the jukebox as well, actually. Right, we'll ignore that just momentarily, and we'll. I've never seen that sign before, though, although I might take note of it. I need to do a bit of that myself. Right, we're on gym. We'll start in gym, and you know what? Actually, no, we won't. We'll start on the other side of the map because you have to defend. In my humble opinion, if you're in like. No offense, if you're in like silver, bronze, maybe gold, you could probably get away with not defending this side of the map, the east side. But if you're in anything that's like plat and above, you've got to defend it. You've got to set it up. So, over on the east side of the map, we've got a little bit like you would with a CC defense, right? You've got the 2 external walls reinforced, the 2 walls inside cash reinforced, 1 wall top red reinforced. We've got the rotate on the opposite side than you would normally have it if you were defending CC. And this is just for easier way to get back to the breach, to peek the breach or to peek garage, or to rotate round. You'll quite often get someone aggressing you onto this door, like peeking into here, trying to see what's going on. Using this closer rotate, you can just get around this way faster and take advantage of it. I know it's only a slight difference from there to there, but it actually makes you rotate about 2 seconds faster by not having to run all the way through there and back through the other side. You can just nip through here. Also means you can peek there, then peek there, and then peek there. Just a bit faster. I wouldn't do this with a CC defense, but you can on this side. So get rid of the bags of talcum powder, and then you can also peek onto this window a little bit easier. So that's the setup in CC. Ideally, what you'd want to do is play bandit, bandit off the gym wall, and then come over here with 2 bandit batteries. Hopefully at the start of the round they want to try and open this wall so you can bandit trick a thermite or a ace quickly and then run back over to the jacuzzi breach to go and bandit trick over there. That's the dream, because this wall's typically going to get opened first. You're not going to spend too much time in CC. Obviously you've got the peek onto highway. Always punch this window at least once so they know the window's open, so they don't feel safe playing on highway. If this barricade is constantly closed, they have got nothing to worry about. Open this, just even if you don't plan on peeking it, just do this. It's what we call phantom pressure. It makes anyone who's out on here think twice about being there. So yeah, we're not going to spend too much time in CC. You'll start here, get a drone or 2, and then you can move back into the stronghold of cash. From here, you can hold the CC jump in. You can obviously peek out onto a highway from the construction window. But the reason we have these head holes mostly is to hold all the way through for gym window, which is obviously over here, and master window here. There's like a line of 3 windows that you can now cover from this one place all the way along here. It's a huge, huge anchor point here. It is difficult, and you definitely need something on the red stairs so no one can creep up. The last thing you want is that the textbook crouch walking Ash just bowling up here and getting a freebie on you because you didn't know she was coming up. They definitely want something on there. Multi Banshee, prox mines, anything with info really. Barbed wire even might do it. Then we come into Logi. Not an easy place to hold here. Not Logi, sorry, construction. We definitely reinforce this single wall, and you want to try and get at least some denial on here, in my opinion. And mute if Bandit's got a spare battery, because as soon as this wall's open, it kind of cuts off the other half of the map. Like, as soon as this wall's open, you just don't get the luxury of being able to play in construction. So you do want to try and keep this single wall closed for as long as possible. Over into Logi. Can I jump through there? Of course I can. Logi is another difficult place to hold that you'll probably hold for the first minute or 2. Probably a little bit less until this hatch gets opened. Remember, you can be seen from this angle here if they use the drop down on the roof. So standing here when the hatch is open is not necessarily safe. Of course, it's not safe if this wall's open as well. But it's a nice place to play for a little while, get a few drones until this hatch gets opened. Once the hatch gets opened, you can retreat to this area and wait for the logi drop, or you can retreat to this area if the breach is closed and hold the drop from here. Over into the rotate into master, we always put it on this side of the wall, and the reason we do that is so you can use the rotate that is now hidden by this mattress from the master window. Imagine if the rotate was here, someone on the master window could just hold that rotate and no one would be able to use it because you could just, as soon as they go through, they'd die. Imagine that, you just hold that rotate there as an attacker and just wait for someone to come through, as opposed to coming through the rotate now and you just can't be seen at all on the other side of the mattress. So make sure you put it there. Then we come into bathroom. Obviously we reinforce the right hand side, we fully reinforce the 2 jacuzzi walls. Now, a lot of people won't do a standing rotate here. I never used to, but I am now a changed man. I believe a standing rotate here is the play. 99 times out of 10, well, there's a castle barricade on this door, but it's going to get opened. And if it doesn't get opened, you need to hit it 8 times. If you hit a castle barricade 9 times, it breaks. So what you want to do is prep this castle barricade by hitting it 8 times. So should they jump in gym, you can run through here, punch the castle barricade once, and stop the plan going down. You can also play a mirror here, obviously, which is really, really useful. Take advantage of this if they start pushing in through the breach. Remember, the angle that you shoot these pipes at is the angle that the gas comes out. So if you shoot it at this angle, the gas is going to come out in this direction, which is not great. You shoot it in that angle, it's going to come out in that... Oh, that way. Yeah, there we go. It is at the right angle now. Let me nip back in. That does a lot of damage. That's 50 damage. Look, it's coming out at that more of an angle that direction now. I don't think it's like a... That's going to explode. I don't think it's a completely 360 thing, but what's the right thing to say? Definitely the angle that you shoot it at. It helps to shoot at the angle that you want it to spray at, if you know what I mean, or to project at. However, does gas spray? I don't know. Liquid sprays. What do you call gas if it's not? I don't know. Anyway, although it, I don't know. That actually tanked damage. I'm on 50 HP after that. That's insane. You can also go prone here and try and get some cheeky little picks on ankles out there. Also, it stops any drone coming in. You can stop Flores drones coming in. You can shoot claymores that people put over there. Really, really useful. Then we've got the feet holes and the rotate for gym. You put the feet holes there, so from here, you can watch the gym jumping if you want to. I wouldn't recommend sitting here because this is pre-fire city. From gym window, I always shoot this area just to hope to get lucky. Obviously, if this master window is open, you wouldn't just sit here anyway. I haven't put feet holes in this section of the wall. Reason being is some people like to reinforce this section of the wall. I've used all 10 reinforcements. You could get away with not reinforcing the top red wall over... You can just see it over there. You could maybe get away with not doing that and reinforce this wall instead. Reason being is anyone that's out in gym can just tank a load of bullets into this wall if it's soft, and then you can see it basically just cuts off all of master. So say they just open that wall, cuts off all of master. You can see into logi from here. It just makes playing in master not enjoyable because this area here is a pretty a fairly strong anchor point. You can hold gym window, master window, condor. So by having this reinforced, it just means you're not going to get wall bang from that window. So I do think that if I was playing in like a rank game, I probably would want to reinforce this, I think. Now I'm thinking about it, and I would probably leave off the top red reinforcement, maybe. However, playing over here is tough, man, because you're going to get at least 2 or 3 pushing you from over this direction. What if you are playing in cash on your own? What would be a dream if you can speak to someone else in your stack is to play a Zarmi here, put a Kiba barrier on there, and then hold it into top red as well to help your teammate out. Again, like everything in Siege, there's a counter to it. A Zarmi can't play here if this wall's open. So as an attacker, this is why it's so important to get hard breach walls open early doors. So, that's gym. You've got to watch main stairs, by the way. You've got to have something on main stairs. Again, we just spoke about the crouch walking ash up red. It's a classic, just crouch walking up main stairs. You've got to have something. However, it's quite difficult to get a decent proxy here because for some reason, like the header of the stairs is so much higher up than it is on other staircases. Like if I throw that there, you can see the prox mine range is there. So you could actually technically crouch under that without it going off because it's so far away. A Malusi Banshee would be far better off, or barbed wire obviously further down. This is not a bad place to play. Well, actually I say that, this is here now, but playing here isn't too bad. You've got to watch the window. But from here you can stop anyone coming up the stairs, you can peek onto the breach, you can swing a logi, you can hold master window and then come back down. It's a strong place to play, but you've got to have some early warning that someone's coming up the stairs. And that's gym. Miles better sight than CCTV. Please play downstairs and gym before you start playing CC. CC is not a good site to defend. The only thing with this is it's one of those sites where if you know how to extend and how to hold various parts of the map, it's really strong. But if you're not prepared for that, then it can be difficult. Again, you've got loads of useful map ingredients. The gas pipe over here that we've already shot is useful. Got one on main stairs. You've got a fire extinguisher to cover yourself getting out of the trouble there. You've got, like, imagine 10 seconds left in the round. Okay, let's just do that then. Well, they're not coming through construction now. Like, it's so good, these map ingredients, to take advantage of. And it's the same for attackers. You can do the same. Like, you can take advantage of this fire extinguisher as an attacker. Say someone's holding you from out there. You know, you could, like, quick peek the fire extinguisher, although it is going to give you a shock, isn't it? Hello? Okay, let's give me a sec. I can get across now. And cover yourself getting across. So you can take advantage of them as attackers as well. Right, that is gym bedroom. Miles better than CCTV. Please stop playing CCTV. Can we just take a second to appreciate how good this map looks in Siege X, man? Everything looks quality on it. Oh, you can't do that anymore. You used to be able to run straight out onto that window. Is that not a thing anymore? I don't think so. Look how good this map looks, man. So good. Anyway, let's stop looking at it. Let's go on with the next site. We move on to everyone's favourite site on this map, and I really don't know why, but shoot the radio for a kickoff. Oh, and also shoot the one that's over there as well. Right then, CCTV and Cash. Let's start over in garage, I think is a good place to start. And we want to reinforce the 4 bottom walls in the garage. This is genuinely imperative to win this site. You've got to have somebody who plays rafters. You can see the 1 and the 2. That marks the middle of the doors below. So if you want to play cage, you can cage claw here. And that will get both of the walls below, and you can do the same here as well, and that'll get both of the walls below as well. You must play somebody here. Ideally, you want to play an Azami, and you also want to have a Wamai with putting magnets along here, or magnets down on the door, one over the door itself, and then you can put another one up here on like the sort of next level along. You don't want to put magnets too close to each other because one grenade will destroy multiple magnets if it's caught in the radius of the magnet. So you definitely want to be playing someone on rafters. If you lose rafters, this site becomes difficult to win because attackers all of a sudden can get right here. The reason we don't want to put a rotate in here, excuse me, you don't want to put a rotate here, you just want to put head holes, is the person who's playing rafters can sometimes die. And by having only head holes here, it means the player that's coming up here, the attacker that's now got rafters, must be a sledge, a buck, or ash, or have breaching charges, or find a way through this wall. If not, they're forced and channeled through the garage window, which is great because you can hold that from the top of red stairs, which is what I'm showing you here. You can hold that from there. So you definitely want to be holding rafters, and you definitely don't want to put a rotate here. Your rafters player is never ever going to use this rotate because they're going to be someone on CC window more than likely, or this main breach is going to be open. So from a defender's point of view, you're never going to use this rotate. If you really want to fight onto the breach, you can use the head holes yourself. You never really... there's the odd occasion maybe where you might need to get over to Cash, but even then I don't think so. As the rafters player, you're going to have enough to worry about on garage door, on the breach, and on bottom garage. So in my humble opinion, don't make it easy for the attackers. This needs to be head holes, not a rotate. On the inside of Sai, of course, we've got the main breach reinforced with 2. We've got this left-hand side reinforced, and this one is there. So once this wall gets open, which is almost inevitable, unless you've got the world's best bandit tricker on your team, they can't just fire through the soft wall and get the guy off rafters. So when you're playing rafters, it's a tricky place to play. You need to know how far left you can go before you see the breach there, and how far right you can go before you're seen through the breach on the window. So basically, you're here. This is panel 1. There's 3 section of panels here. That's panel 1. This is panel 2. This is 90. And this is panel 3 here, or underneath window. But yeah, I mean, it's even listed on the wall now, panel 1 and panel 2. But it refers to these length of 3 panels here. So this is panel 2. Your safest place when you're playing rafters is always panel 2. Problem is, attackers know that, and you're going to have capital firebolts and whatnot landing at your feet. That's why we reinforce this wall, just so you can't get a freebie onto the top of garage rafters. Coming over here into Cash, we've got the single wall reinforced. We've got the top middle wall reinforced out of the 3 on red. We've also got a rotate up here. Now, we've got a rotate up here for one reason. Attackers can't use it coming this way. You can't bolt through it this way. But if you're stuck in Cash here, and you know someone's planting, what will tend to happen is you'll have, and again, I'm just going off what happens a lot of the time here, is you'll have somebody planting here, and they'll either be being held from the breach or from this angle here watching the Cash door, so you can't push through the Cash door. This rotate allows 2 things. One, you can stand on it and see the window if you want to, or you can stand on this desk. You can't vault through it when you're standing. That's the whole point. You stand on this desk, and you run and vault through it, and now you can peek onto the planter here, and the person that's holding cash door over here, the attacker that's holding cash door waiting for you to come through, has got no idea you just went through that rotate and came around this side and killed the planter that's there. Or, of course, you could come around that side, kill that guy that's holding you first, and then kill the planter. Just got to be careful when you come through this rotate that there's nobody holding from the breach, because that is quite a common thing to do. You can always do that by looking out into the breach first. It's good for throwing smokes towards the breach as well, and it's good for throwing smokes towards the default plant. And also I would make a couple of holes at the top here, just as extra holes to throw C4s and smokes over the top as well. The attackers are going to get nothing from this. Over on top where we have the rotate on the far right hand side of the wall, the middle of the wall reinforced, just so if you're getting pushed from the construction door, you can take cover here. I like making just a little tiny head hole here, just to be able to peek construction door both sides. This is actually not a very good rotate from me. You want that clean so it's in line with the edge of the reinforcement, so you can peek both sides. Hello, and then also one more hole, which I don't see that many people do anymore. It's just a tiny feet hole there, okay? And this is only so... And where I'm playing here, this place behind the green desk is a common anchor point for anyone playing sort of mute or smoke. You can hold onto the con door, you can go and look at con window, you can go onto the breach, obviously on all the things we've just talked about. But this gives you a bit of a nasty prone angle for anyone coming up the red stairs. You can see the edge of the red stairs barrier there. So you can hold here, so anyone coming up red stairs, as soon as they get to the top, you're going to see them. Whereas the attacker coming up the red stairs is going to be looking like this, and by the time they get here looking through the rotate, they're already dead from this little angle that you've made here. The only thing to bear in mind is once you've made that angle, you can't be standing here, obviously, because you're going to get your feet shot out from the construction door. But you're never actually going to stand here if you're defending top red. You'd always be behind this reinforcement. Over here in construction, we've got feet holes for the Logi hatch drop. So as you'll probably know, depending on how new you are to the game, you've got this hatch here. People are going to try and drop that hatch onto the floor. And the whole point of these feet holes is you're going to see their feet, and they're not going to see you here. We've always got this construction single wall reinforced as well. So that's 10 reinforcements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 reinforcements to be used. In terms of verticality, there's a bit of vertical that you can learn on this site. You can learn that people come in stock below. You can see the walk in from stock. Didn't mean to throw that smoke, ignore that. Hello, can I pick that up? You then want to be opening this hatch as well. And you can also make a head hole here. Well, I say a head hole, it's more like a line of sight. And then you can see the stock door below for anyone coming in there. You can also hold a bit further back for anyone coming in stock. You can't see the door that's over that other end of stock, but you can see if anyone tries to come out of the door. The door to stock obviously is here. So anyone going out of stock, you'll be able to see them there as well. In terms of stopping the default plant, you've got to learn where I mean, this is the most common C4 from below in the entire game. You can use the bomb as reference, but the default C4 plant is right there. And that's going to get you a kill when people are trying to plant default. Got to worry about people rushing blue. You'll quite often get somebody just rush blue and then just come and peek top red stairs quickly and try and get a freebie early in the round, so watch out for that. Other than that, in terms of defending horizontally on this site, you don't really do it as much. As opposed to like when we talked about defending Master and Gym, you tend to sort of play on the other side of the map a lot. Whereas this site, you don't really. And that's mainly because pushing the CCTV breach is a lot easier than pushing the jacuzzi breach because of this wall. Like having this reinforcement here and this rotate here when you play Gym makes it a lot harder to push that breach. Therefore, people tend to push this side of the map more. Whereas over on the CCTV breach, it's a lot easier to just push in and plant where I've just shown you on the default plant. So people don't tend to push this side across the map that often. They do it like really high level Pro League. If you see Pro League, this wall's always open and people are always pushing this side, but you don't really see it in ranked. That is CCTV in a nutshell. Not my favourite site at all, and I hate how everyone plays here first because they think it's the best. It's absolutely not. Gym and basement are a million times better than this site, but that's how you set it up. On to bar stage. Unfortunately, I had to restart this clip because I messed it up, so I've already shot the jukebox, but I was talking and then ended up muddling my words, so I started again. This site is the worst on the map, but can be okay if you 5 of you know what you're doing, and the reason for that is no one knows how to play it. No one knows how to attack it. So yeah, you can take advantage of the fact that people don't really know what to do. Shout out the gaming zone stack I play with sometimes. George, Addy, Maz, and Nash who play this site sometimes, and they play a couple of other off sites on one on Canal as well, which I like. But yeah, it can be useful. They win it every time they play it, but when I play it, I'm not really a fan of it. I do prefer the other 3. Anyway, how to set it up? Firstly, we go upstairs. You've got to defend upstairs on this site. It's absolutely imperative, and you do that by reinforcing the 2 gym walls. You reinforce the jacuzzi walls, sorry, not gym walls, the 2 jacuzzi walls. You reinforce the bathroom wall. You make the rotate over on this long wall and the feet holes underneath. So that is pretty much the same setup as when you defend gym, right? The 2 jacuzzi walls, this one, the rotate here, feet holes across, and the rotate here. Then we go over into construction. We reinforce this wall, and we reinforce the single wall out to the external breach, and obviously this one into cash as well. We haven't opened the hatch. I need to do that. And we open the hatch. We open the hatch so we can stop anyone coming through these stock walls. Attackers generally will probably come through the stock door. We'll try and open this wall with an aim to getting a plant off, if I can get an angle on it. Just, we see where that big spotlight is? Behind this vending machine here. If I look on the bar cam, I might be able to show you. I don't think I'll get an angle on it on the bar cam, actually. Just there. You see where that ping is? That's where they're going to try and plant there, usually. They're failing that, they'll try and plant over in the corner over here that you can't see. So, we make this long line of sight all the way along this sort of cabinet area and up towards construction door. Reason being is this is that vending machine we were just looking at. So this is where they're going to try and plant behind, just there. Failing that, they're going to try and plant either tucked into the jukebox or on this side of the map here, on the other side of the wall. Sorry, not the side of the map, on this side of the wall. This is the next most common plant spot, so this line of sight here can stop both plant spots from above. Then we defend Logi with a rotate here. Remember, you make the rotate here so the mattress defends you from the window. You don't want to be going through the rotate on this side of the map, on this side of the wall. I've said side of the map twice in a mistake there. This side of the wall, you don't want it. You want to be going through with the mattress giving you some cover. We've then got Logi with some head holes. No reinforcement here, you'll notice, because we're not going to spend too long in here. I wouldn't waste a reinforcement here. I'll come back on to, we've got 2 reinforcements left, and I'll talk about that in a second. But you're not using this reinforcement here would suggest that you're going to stand here for a while. Given the pressure that's going to come from this side of the map, you're going to have to give this up fairly quickly. So reinforcement there is wasted, in my humble opinion. That's upstairs. You can do the same sort of main stairs peaks that we talked about before. In fact, peeking over the top of that bar wall on this side is actually really useful. You can see right down into outside the bar door, which is right down here, which is going to be a busy old place to be looking at. You look through the wall, obviously not up here because that's not destructible, but the top of the wall is where you would be looking through. Now I've got to be careful because I'm running out of shotgun shells. We then need a line of sight across here, and then one across here. Not too far though, you don't want to be going all the way across here. Now I've got 3 shotgun shells left. The reason we open these is we can hold this way out towards that external door at the top of kitchen corridor, or we can be playing kitchen side, and if they don't push kitchen, if they don't come through here, barricade this off maybe, we can then fight into the site from the outside looking in. But it's quite often that you're probably going to lose site control, or it can happen that you can lose site control. So you use this hatch as an escape route, down you pop, you come up main stairs, and now because you've got those lines of sight, you can see back into the side to try and reclaim sight. You don't have to just force your way through the door, and it's really obvious where you're coming from. Try and get a pick or 2 from these head holes as you're looking through on the way back in. I felt like I just did a drone then, but I'm in this custom game on my own. Hey, that's poetry. Drone and own. Now, we haven't reinforced this wall, but I would probably do that sometimes. The other thing to do is to hold strip. Now, you can hold strip with someone with an ACOG, like an Echo is a good place to, a good person to hold this area, or even Maestro with the, what's Maestro's shotgun called? ACS, is it? ACS? With a, bit of a stutter there. The long line of sight through here, you can see all the way over to the stock double door, and holding an ACOG like this is really, really strong. Anyone with an ACOG is good, as I say. Even a DM or someone like a Rooney maybe would be good from here as well. But just be careful. Get push from this door, push from this door. All these walls are soft. This is obviously a common way into the map here as well. Just got to be a little bit careful. Over here in billiards, you've got to be super careful of this window, although that can be held from above with this hatch, but not if they come to gym window. This is the beauty of Siege, right? Hold this window from this hatch. Well, I can't hold it, and that's fine, until they open this window. Then you can't hold the window from the hatch. This is why Phantom Pressure is good in Siege. So, as an attacker, you open this window, no defender will play this hatch, because they know the window's open, and anyone could appear at the window. That's why opening barricades and stuff is generally a good thing to do on attack. We've talked about the hatch escape. Yeah, we reinforce. This is where those plant spots are from above, by the way. You can see this is the long line of sight we made above. So this is the most common plant spot here. Second most common plant spot here. So you can also try and plant tucked in here as well. But all of these plant spots along that line are completely nullified by that line of sight. castle's a good operator to play here because you can use these steps to your advantage. Pretend that this is a castle barricade momentarily. You can now peek under the castle barricade and start seeing toes. Bear in mind, though, you are prime, like your head is right where someone's just going to shoot through the bottom of the door, so it can sometimes do you in. You're better off playing a bit further back or even behind the bar. You can still get an angle from it, and so if you see toes, remember, if you see toes, shoot heads. Don't see toes and shoot toes. See toes, shoot heads. Playing in upstairs, obviously, is key with the 2 hatches that are open. We've already talked about that. And that is bar and stage. I'm not a fan. I have to be completely honest with you. But when it's set up like this and there's 5 people that know what they're doing, it is really good. You've just got to bear in mind, if you're an anchor player, if you like playing on site and not really moving, you can sort of play behind the bar here, but you've got to be super careful of kitchen. You've got a spare reinforcement. So if you said that you wanted to reinforce maybe this wall or maybe this wall or maybe just one of these 4 walls to give you some cover, maybe this wall, and then you could like hide behind the reinforcement, hold on to the corridor and kitchen, but you'd be tucked in behind here. I don't think I'd say that you were wrong. I think playing on site here is pretty difficult because it's just so exposed from everywhere. All these lines of sights that are open in different places. So it does help to be away from the site with the option to come back, dropping the hatches. Obviously, you've got a hatch at both ends of the site. Yeah, good. No, I nearly said good site then. I don't mean good site. It's the worst site of the 3, in my opinion. But if you're a coordinated 5 and you can take advantage of the fact that people don't know how to attack this site, you might be onto a winner. So there we have it, the setup for Clubhouse for 2025. First one in Siege X. Thank you, as always, for watching the video. There's a couple of... I nearly said a ton and a couple there, and I said a con. Close. A couple of different ways, or a ton of different ways you can support the channel further if you want to. Just watching and clicking on it and putting it with my monotone voice for however long this video's gone on for, I don't know, because I haven't edited it yet when I'm recording this, then thank you. But there are ways below. You can also go onto Twitch, subscribe on Twitch, and you get me charm. Somehow I've got a charm in the game. Don't really know how, but I have, so that's incredibly lucky. All you got to do is sub once on Twitch, and the charm is on your account forever. Use it on Thermite and Mute if you're going to pick 2 operators. It does increase your KD by 0.2, and it does mean you play less cheaters just by equipping the charm. That's not a confirmed fact. Obviously, like, comment, and subscribe, and all the other good stuff that really helps me out as well. But that's the Clubhouse one done. We've got a few more to look at in the Siege X. Updated map pool that we're going to look at the setups of. We're going to look at the setups for those maps in the course of the coming weeks. But yeah, cheers for getting involved with the channel. I really appreciate you just even clicking on the video. I'll see you next time. All the very best.